Listen up, son. Check it out, though. Hey, yo, open your eyes, get wise, and look alive. Focus your attention. Windows 95, updated, high-tech lynching. Cautious of the colored man who claim he owes the keys to the safe. Secrets of the world, blow him in his face. Who's the master of the universe? Galaxy and planets, Babylonians, the static moon, the sinking of Atlantis.
Be the one soul originals, black filled with melanin, going out like rebels in Kuwait and 2000.
Hear my synopsis, I drop this. Generates thoughts upon awareness of the here and now. Building upon what many spirit now. Society and flaws, unjust laws remain devoid of common cause. Equality rules you to love that equality. Many's lured to trust this. Act of the devil possess the sword of justice. Take the devil's head through levels in bed. Truth to spread to mental dead.
Imagine us traveling back to Nazareth.
Fabulous.
And raise up the black dead slaves like Lazarus.
With our chests raised through the blaze, holy essays. No more death days of slaves possessed and
Yo,
caged.
it's the last days of time, we got to raise your mind. Brothers walk around dumb, different, they blind. Pregnant earths always carry eggs. Our blessing never fall off the ledge.
Shalom, shalom, y'all. Welcome to another Hebrews in the Hood, Brews in his hood. It's your brother Mikha'el Ben Israel. Like to give a shout out to my brother Hellraiser from the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, thanks for letting me rock that nice little memorial that you given to the brother Prodigy, man. You know, we lost that brother recently, and I really like the tribute you did to him. So thanks for giving me the permission to go ahead and use that intro. Now, to everybody listening, I know it's been a while, man. I had to poke my head back out, you know, because you got deceivers, you got not even talebearers, you got bearers of false witness coming against your boy, and not just against your boy, but on a greater note, against all the quote-unquote African Americans and other groups that's coming out worldwide saying that we are the true Jews or the true Hebrew Israelites. So, you know, what you about to view right now is something that I'm specifically reacting to based off earlier confrontations with this little fringe group of a bigger movement called Christian apologetics. Now, I just like to make something clear. There are all different types of Christian apologetics people. You can't put them all under one boat like they do all Hebrew Israelites. But this specific group called themselves Shield. I call them the Shenanigan Squad because they full of shenanigans, as y'all gonna see after this video. And, you know, they basically a little ragtag group, got them in Soldiers of God and some that flip-flop back and forth and all that type of stuff from what I understand. But they all have the same agenda, and it is an agenda. And they try to hide it under the guise of them pushing the gospel of Christ. But as you're going to see, you're going to realize that Christ that they talking about is not the real Jesus Christ. You know, in 2 Corinthians, it tells us, if a man come teaching another Jesus, they teaching another Jesus, you know, and y'all gonna see this quite clear. So y'all know when I react, man, I only react for a reason. These cats trying to be seen, but they don't know enough. They sloppy, they disorganized, they they dysfunctional. It's just like, you know, they're basically representing the Sunday church, your everyday New Testament Sunday church. And no disrespect to those that's in the church who's trying to seek the truth, but this is the reason why our communities as black people are jacked up. And the world is jacked up, but I'm gonna focus more on the black community, because when we get it straight, the world will get it straight. But it's a reason, everybody. I just like to say this before we get into this, because it's gonna be fun to some, it may even be comical to others, but when you look at it overall, it's really sad. And I actually tried to be real humble and civilized with this because, you know, of the position I hold as a priest of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But you can only deal with so much deception, people. Only so much deception. And, you know, if you look in our communities as black people, we got 3 major problems. I would say the crack house, the liquor store, and the church. And what's the one thing they all have in common? They all are getting you intoxicated in some shape, form, or fashion. And these guys are representation of that spiritual intoxication. And the sad part about it is, if, you know what, I'm going to let you all just listen to this for yourselves. And you can sit there and you be the judge. And you see if this is something that you want to ride behind, because it's very small. They worried about the Hebrew Israelite quote unquote movement, as they call it. They can't stop it. It's going to grow. It's going to keep growing. They can't deal with it. You can hear the fear in their voice on every little show they do, because I check them out. They're just terrified. They can't deal with it. You know what I mean? But they would turn a blind eye to all this false Sunday church teaching. Like I heard the one guy on here say, his name is Jay, I think call himself Jay the producer. He said that a brother asked him, you know, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, am I teaching false doctrine? So he asked him, he said, I don't know. What is the doctrine you teach? So he's letting you, he's sending you a signal as if it's not about you claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite by nationality. But if your religion is false or your doctrine is false, then we have a problem. But on the other hand, you see what I'm saying? If they claim to be non-denominational Christians, but the Protestants don't believe what the Baptists believe. The Baptists don't believe exactly what the Episcopalians believe, or what the Methodists believe, or the Seventh-day Adventists, and so on and so forth. So will they say that those groups are not teaching the gospel of Christ? I've yet to hear them say that. Maybe they said it, and then I'll go on record and say, okay, well, they've said that. But they do not go at these Sunday Christian groups because one thing is off with the doctrine that they don't agree with. They'll still say they're teaching their version of the gospel of Christ. So why is it that they look for fault in every Hebrew Israelite group? It is obviously, as you'll see after this video, because the fact that we claim and know historically, geographically, and biblically that we are the Hebrew Israelites. So I'd like y'all to go on here, sit back, grab your popcorn, grab your sword, and I want y'all to sit here and listen to these cats and see if they, the deception and the wool that they pulling over people's eyes, or trying to pull over little groups' eyes that they contacted with. See how obvious it is. See if you see it like everybody else. So I ain't gonna talk too long. That was long enough. Like I said, peace to everybody, and we're gonna go on ahead and get off in this mix.
I just decided to make a short video response to basically by a guy by the name of Mikha'el. And basically last night I listened into the show and I called in, and mainly because of two things. One, because of the title of the show. You know, you can go on Debate Talk for You and look at this for yourself. The title of the show was something like along the lines of New Age Apologists or something like that. Show up on your show. You don't say, quote, you can ask my assistant here, he's more qualified than me. I'm asking you. You're the one that's basically leading whatever you're teaching. So why would you have me talk to him?
If my reader want to address your question, he can. He's very much qualified. I'll read for you, brother. Tell me where to read it.
Why would you not want to have it, at least have a dialogue, or, you know, or at least a debate?
Now, I want y'all to notice two things right here. As you can see, it continues to get more and more foolish and ridiculous. And actually, I'm quite embarrassed for the young man. Now, he just sat up here and stated out his mouth that I said that my assistant, which is really my reader, he said that earlier, was more qualified. But if you hear what I said he's very much qualified. Big difference. And I know he's not that silly to think little words like that don't mean something to the viewer. But see, he didn't expect y'all to go back and check the real conversation. So he's doing like a Fox News soundbite, which leads to this whole video that we're having now, because G-Con and the little Shield Squad responded to a 7 or 8 minute clip that I did on TJ Black's Ask the Streets from Chicago, which was a 45-minute show. They took a soundbite. Didn't come at me, didn't hit me up, say, hey, bro, what that meant. So the second part is If you noticed in that though, I read for my reader, just like my reader read for me. Why? Because we're equal. Ask G-Con did that work out like that with him and Vocab though. That's another story. But we'll let it continue and see if it gets worse. Y'all shouldn't have opened this door, y'all. Like you said, G-Con, love is out the way. You still my brother, but you need to be rebuked because you playing games over there. That's deceptive and it's not personal. This about either you're going to be righteous or you're going to be satanic. And what y'all doing right now is very satanic. But let us continue.
Mikha'el ben Israel. Mikha'el, unmute your mic.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm here. You know me, I ain't never hear from nobody. Well, I mean, somebody got something to say, they can say it to me now.
Well, we were discussing the G-Con showed us the interview that you did, and we was basically commenting our thoughts on it. And you know, you made the statement about the you know, disgruntled Israel. Me myself, you know, I came out of the movement. I came out of IUIC, and this is just Brother Jason, you know. But so you was talking, and then you got on the subject about, you know, basically like vocab or the white man basically recruiting. You know, disgruntled Israelites basically, and then you made the reference about, you know, little nigglets and stuff. So I'll put it this way: I didn't like it. I didn't take it personal, but I did attack it because the picture that you was painting about Christian apologists was definitely false and misinformed. And I could say, as being a black man, as being somebody who came out of the Hebrew Israelite movement. The reason why I come after the doctrine in which these camps push is not because I'm disgruntled or because you know, the white man or vocab or somebody recruited me basically as an agent or something like that. But I willingly chose to do it because the doctrine that these people are pushing is not the gospel of Christ. So at that point, and I have a lot of people that I did form relationships with in these schools that I know their end if they was to die in that. And so therefore, the Lord had grace and mercy on me and brought me out. So therefore, you know, I basically devoted a lot of time in my life going after those doctrines that I've learned while in these camps that now the Lord has shown me that was false. So now that's why I go back after them. And I made a statement before you came in, you know, because you also mentioned about, you know, people not going after Jews and or the Christian apologists not going after Jews and stuff. And I made a statement that you do have apologists that strictly deal with Jews, even atheists. Even people with Islam, me myself personally, I don't deal with those factions because I'm not aware of their arguments or enough of their doctrines to be able to tackle it effectively. So, but being that I came out of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement and learned that doctrine, that's why I specifically hone in on you guys or anybody that is not teaching the gospel of Christ and that's out there deceiving people, giving them false hope, you know, telling every black person that's in America that they're Israelites when that's just not true. And that's why I do it. So I'll let the other brothers talk, let you know what they said. But I think G-Con brought you in so you can kind of basically explain yourself as far as, I guess, your motive or your outlook or your reasoning or whatever for saying the things that you did say in the interview. So, you know, so it'd be no mistaking what it is that you meant by what you was talking about.
All right, well, first off, let me say this. Some of y'all might want to mute y'all phones so I don't get misquoted or misspoken one more time because I've already heard it done. First off, let me say something. I'm going to tell you what was sloppy about this. I'm going to say this. First off, I went out my way to make sure I gave G-Con reverence and didn't make it personal with him. Second of all, the same thing you just accused that, see, I heard about 15 minutes of this show when Yahweh was talking earlier, and that's why that's my brother, because he keep it 100. And everything Yahweh said about how I feel about vocab alone, that's the same spirit I picked up on. So I want y'all to let me get this all the way out before somebody cut me off, because I've been sitting here patient and don't nobody get in your feelings. That same spirit he picked up on is the same spirit a lot of people picked up on. Just like y'all say y'all get that spirit from the One West camps or whatever. Here's my thing. Like, even when you was just talking, I heard your story before. I heard you before. And I actually had a little respect for you because You laid it out there on why you said what you said, but you not everybody. And don't pretend to be everybody. The same way G-Con felt it necessary to get on here and address this when I wasn't talking about him, and I made that clear. I was talking about everybody else. When TJ Black tried to get me, I ain't gonna say he tried to get me to go at G-Con, but he asked me about him. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing you accuse me of doing, or other Hebrew Israelites that's not from One West, because they mentioned Hebrew Israelites. So you're doing the exact same thing. Second of all, when you talking, like you just said, Black Hebrew Israelite, I said it years ago. We all just little research. I know y'all smart. Y'all do enough research. So I know you know that that term and that coin came from the FBI, the Project Megiddo file. So why would you keep using the FBI coin term? Because now what you're saying is you calling all Hebrew Israelites BHIs. Well, 99% of us has never answered to that phrase whatsoever. So you either intentionally being disrespectful or you just don't give a damn. So that's second. So if anybody gonna keep saying Black Hebrew Israelites, then I just leave. I'm not gonna keep on talking. That's like somebody basically keep calling you a nigger after you told them don't call you a nigger. You know what I'm saying? If you went to a Chinese person's house or you went to China, you're gonna sit on the floor and you're gonna eat with chopsticks. You're gonna respect their culture. So I think we should do the same thing with each other. But you know, with Black people, that don't happen. So I'm gonna tell you why, just like you said, what's your name, Jay? Like you said, your reason for joining, I'm gonna tell you my reason for reacting. Okay, let me do that. Because just like like Yehowadah brought up with vocab Malone, y'all get on here and I hear all that. Yeah, you know, the one brother was on here when I first got on here saying how he thought at one time vocab was just, you know, racist against Hebrew Israelites until he got to know him. Hey man, this ain't nothing new. It's just like I'm in Chicago, Richard Daley. You know what I'm saying? He was the mayor here forever. Before that, his father was the mayor, a few mayors before him. And guess what? He was a Democrat. He was a Democrat. So what that mean? That make people think because you a Democrat, you for Black people? No, they'll smile in your face and all that. But do you know what those dinner conversations are like when you're not around? If y'all think Vocab Malone and his friends, outside of the token Black guys, but outside of this public look, if you think, and I know he on here, so he can address me if he want to. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't do the whole smiling in your face and all that type of stuff. I can see straight through that. If you think when we going at each other and y'all arguing with the Hebrew Israelites, you think them cats ain't sitting back laughing? Like, yeah, look, we created a monster. And they go back home to wherever they live at, and they don't have to deal with it. But we got to live with each other. That's why y'all look foolish to me. That's exactly why y'all look foolish to me. Y'all have had all the time in the world to address the Hebrew Israelites and the problems that y'all get with certain sects of Hebrew Israelites amongst us. Y'all had all the time to do that. Why would y'all side up with somebody who, just like Yehowadah said, when I first seen Vocab Malone, I seen them interviews on a little radio show. And he was without a doubt, we can pull the clips, he was without a doubt mocking any.
Yeah, man, I got that brother on the bottom, man. I don't want to hear none of that. Yeah,
I thought he just dropped out because of connection.
Nah, he didn't drop out. I had my hand hovering right over the eject button. Because number one is, you could tell when already off the flip, brothers ain't coming with the spirit of Christ, because he don't even know that, man. He ain't walking by the spirit, he walking in the flesh. So guess what? He got to get the eject button. I ain't got time for it. And like I say, if you give these brothers a little rope, they'll hang themselves. And that's why I told you from the get-go, Kevin G, already from the get-go. He spoke it out himself. He never met this brother before. Don't know anything about him. It's just a race and it's a color thing. He got to go. He got to go, fam, up out of here. Wrong manner of spirit.
Nah, can you guys hear me all right? Pretty good conversation, I think. And I think, you know, even though it's unfortunate, some of the stuff people are saying, it's good to hear it in a way, because those are some of the viewpoints that are out there. You know, like even Mikha'el or whatever, you know, that paranoia and that false narrative. I mean, that's just kind of comes with the territory. But it's real unfortunate. And, you know, the sense I get is that all of a sudden, after years of no one having really taken the time to examine these beliefs and question them, now that it's happening, there's an extreme reaction. And so every single card is getting played. And so every single tool is getting pulled out, you know, from a victim mentality to threats to, yeah, I'm not saying him, I'm saying different people are using different tactics because they don't like it. They don't like the doctrine being questioned. And so it's constant trying to divert attention, change the issue, change the subject, and all this type of stuff. I mean, the guy was just saying he has token black friends, and then when him and his wife sit around, they laugh at it. What is this? Like, first of all, and then when they go back to where they live, this man doesn't know where I live. He doesn't know I live downtown. He doesn't know where I'm from in Columbus. I don't understand this. It's just craziness. Like this whole, like, they just would literally invent a biography about somebody. They'll just make up their own narrative, make up their own origin story, make up. These guys should go into comic book writing because they'll have a person right in front of them and they'll just make it all up. And I'm talking specifically about Mikha'el there is what I'm saying. But that type of thing has happened a lot. And, you know, it's almost like racism on their part. Do they think G Khan is like that dumb? Like, oh, I was worried he's getting manipulated by, you know, all this type of stuff. Do they think like that's how easy it is to manipulate and trick and fool people? You know what I'm saying? So I just
well, if I can speak for myself and for, you know, I think a lot of people who think like me who reclaim their heritage.
You have to speak afterwards, bro. You just cut the man right off. Speak afterwards.
No, I didn't. The brother asked the question, man. What are you talking about?
I'm good. I said enough. I'm good. I'm fine with it.
Go ahead. He gone too, man. Go ahead, brother.
Wait a minute. He wasn't legitly trying to interrupt, though.
Yeah, I listen. I've been dealing with Gideon for the longest, so I'm not playing games with anybody in here.
We can say that if you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, you agree on, which is the one main central thesis, which is a transatlantic slave trade equivalency thesis, whatever you want to call it. That's a binding thing. That's really the only main binding thing. And the thing is, I think this stuff has been said a lot.
Now, people, you've just witnessed two appalling things. One, the brother cut this other brother off for just attempting to ask their master teacher a question. Because at this point, that's why I'm putting them. I don't care if y'all, you know, they're going to get upset or whatever. But we passed that right now. The people can see what I see if you're not biased. They cut the brother off just for trying to ask this man a question. Like, who is he? Is he sitting in the mercy seat of God? Like, is y'all his cherub angels or something? I mean, this man's like in the Holy of Holies, and then they say it's us, a conspiracy. Now, that's one thing to bring somebody into the fold, right? Because you have the belief that all nations can come into the kingdom if they serve the true and living God. I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with that. I don't care what Hebrew Israelite brothers got a problem with that. They know I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I know how to separate that from for the injustices of this world and this country that's happening to my people. I know it's going to always be those exceptions, but that's beside the point. But to go overboard, I mean, good grief, man. Holding penalty, 15 yards. I mean, that was ridiculous. The brother just tried to ask him a question. But we acting like it's a big conspiracy. Come on, man. I ain't never seen y'all protect no brother like this. Like, really, though. For real, though. And he just sitting back. And then the second part of the appalling act was, I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy straight out said that, okay, it's ridiculous to generalize all these different, because he admits there's a bunch of different kind of Israelites, right? But then he gives you the key to what all this is over. He says that they all believe that the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, I'm paraphrasing, are all the descendants of the Hebrew Israelites, or are the real biblical Hebrew Israelites. And then he says that is their binding factor, which leads to my original point that I made, that I've been making. They don't care about the doctrine. They don't care about the doctrine of Christ. They are not out here fighting for the gospel of Christ. If they were out here fighting for the gospel of Christ, they would be at these Episcopalian, Baptist, Methodist, and all these other Sunday churches who do not teach the gospel of Christ exactly like they do. But then they'll say, well, that's because they're not on our corners in our community screaming at people. Okay, either am I. Either are a bunch of other Hebrew Israelites in the community who do not use the exact same tactics as the Israelites who get on bull horns. So what's your problem with them? You should put them in the same category as your Christian brothers who just got a little bit off doctrine. But no, it's because, so what they'll do is they're going to look for a fault with the moderate Israelites, the term that I made up, by the way. They are going to look for fault in them. So they're going to turn it into, oh, you know, this camp teaches that Gabriel is the Holy Spirit, or this camp teaches that, you have to wear fringes, and this cap teaches that you can't cut your beard, or this cap but they all believe in Christ though. So that's not their issue. He just told you it's that binding. It is that binding thing that we all agree on, is that we are the real Hebrew Israelites by nationality. Because if we are the Hebrew Israelites, then Jesus Christ looked like us. And if Jesus Christ looked like us, all the prophets look like us. All the apostles look like us. Well, most of them look like us. And so we go from being this second-class citizen in this country, all our lives we've been here, we go from being that dirt to being some people of relevance, of global relevance that you got to deal with. That's it, people. I ain't got no time to play games with them. We going to war for the true gospel of Christ. This raggedy gospel ain't been doing nothing for our community since it been here. Like I say, you got liquor stores, you got you got the trap house, and you got the church. And they all get you intoxicated. This is not an indictment on the people who go there, because they looking to search for God. But them people ain't helped our situation whatsoever. For every Hebrew Israelite camp or church, you can find 200 Sunday Christian churches. But guess what? Y'all want to know why the gangbangers, the males standing on the corner? Because it ain't nothing in them churches. And men are logical. Men see that it's nothing worth going to in those churches. It's full of old women, homosexuals, females, single females, and that's that. And old ladies. Where all the soldiers at? That don't look right. How's a man gonna head his household when he don't even got God in his own mind? It's only the women that's going to church. That's because that's not the true gospel. So we almost at the end of this rope. And, you know, I didn't cut them deep enough, because I really let them cut themselves. They let the little rookie run out there. So thank him for destroying S.H.I.E.L.D. But I'm glad, because this is actually deeper than that. The people need to see these deceivers. But I'm warning y'all, I got another dagger. And this one will totally be humiliating. And being that I'm a man of Christ, and I'm not here to humiliate my brothers, especially when I have a personal relationship with, I'm going to hold that back. And I'm just going to make this just out of response to all of the shows y'all done did. And it's done. Everybody can see it for themselves now. It's done. I'm going to move on over to bashing on Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes now. So don't say nothing else to me, because I don't want that next one to come out. And, you know, tighten it up, man. Y'all got to get some kind of discipline. It might not be don't eat a pork chop and all that, but y'all got to at least put some kind of discipline, man. Train them boys before you send them out here on these lines. Okay, let's continue.
Y'all end up going on the streets, and, you know, y'all even raid certain churches. Yes, I've seen people do this. One guy that I debated actually has videos of him doing this. I'm not just making this up. Back. if you're gonna make doctrines that, you know, white people are gonna be slaves forever in the afterlife, and Jesus only died for the Israelites, and the whole Bible is about Israelites. So I'm asking you, Mikha'el, Yeshurun, Israel, whatever your name is, if you're going to continue to talk about us, then you owe me a dialogue.
Yes or no?
No. Next caller.
You say that, you know, the apologists are New Age, right? But yet you don't even realize that the start of your cult actually was in New Age. When you look at Arya, right, the dude who founded the 12 tribes charts, he also believed that he was Elijah reincarnated. One of them actually believed that he was King David reincarnated. Because like I said before, like, I've checked your profile. You've been on Sal Showtime's show 3 times. You taught in 2015, 2016, and you taught in 2015, 2016, and this year in 2017. That's the only time you've been on the show. And all 3 times, you've taught. You never dialogued, you never debated with anybody, you just taught. And then, oh, you know, vocab is with James White, and you know, this is all James White's doing.
Yeah, people, as you see for your own, with your own eyes and hear with your own ears, if this ridiculousness have not stunk up the high heavens enough at this point, it's actually going to get worse. I tried to give a young man the benefit of the doubt and say, well, you know, maybe he just jumped out the window head first. You know, he been playing around with Israelites for the last however long. And so he just didn't do the proper research about the person that he thinks he's rebuttaling or calling out. The video was about 30 minutes long, so I couldn't even play all of it because it was just really a lot of him saying I'm a coward and keep the shield squad out your mouth, and really had nothing to do with doctrine or disproving the historicity of us being the Israelites. Nothing like that. No scholarship. Just a little temper tantrum that he went on, right? And a lot of neck popping and stuff like that. So it's actually going to get worse, people. I actually gave the young man some time to take the video down when he realized that none of the doctrine, almost nothing he said applied to me whatsoever. But due to his pride and not being a true Christian, as they claim, no one even in his own camp, can't say camp, nobody in his little team or squad even had the godliness to say, you know what, you bear false witness against that brother, especially G-Con, because he know what I teach and what I promote. He know what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's like he got to be bearing false witness on his own, and he's just part of the agenda that they all have. So they don't care. None of the laws in the Bible, even in the New Testament, is applying to me at this point. So, you know, I hope y'all like the intro from my man's one of my brothers, my brew, Hellraiser from Wu-Tang Squad. Thanks, bro. I got personal permission for that. Yeah, that wasn't Vocab Malone rapping, y'all. That wasn't no ABC. Ooh, buddy. Oh, boy. It's about to get worse, my people. Keep in mind, these people who say they're spiritual and not carnal. But look at this young man. It's going to continue to get more and more stinky. Oh, and this next part you're about to see, this is when it really get worse. Remember the whole thing, if you go check back on G-Con's show, I think it's one of the shows, We Are Christian Apologetics. Go check them. It's one, I think it's the first or the second one, the show where they kicked me off. You know, they made this whole thing about there's no conspiracy. This is what the young man is alluding to in this video. So real, as he calls himself. But he hasn't been real yet in his video. He's been everything but real. He's been, well, real false. And so, yeah, you know, they hooped and hollered about there's no conspiracy. Vocab or James White or none of these people are recruiting us or, you know, this and that. Even have Vocab go along with it. But people, we're going to let you see what happens when they talk out their own mouth. See, when you got the God of Israel with you, those angels around, they let you know. It's footage out there. So after you see this, you go back and listen to them swabbing down that Vocab and them don't run nothing. They all equal. G-Con went so far as to say he recruited him. So they all in on the lie. But there's footage. So we're going to see who the leader of this crew is and who has them set on their agenda. Like all the Israelites been saying for the longest. It hasn't been paranoia. So enjoy this stink fest, people, because it's about to get ugly.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We are live. You know how these things go. Always a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning. But here we are, the Shield Squad. So what we wanted to do tonight is to introduce to y'all a new counter-apologetics crew. Evangelism, discipleship, counseling, all that's in the mix. And some of the faces you're going to know, some of the names you're not going to know. But we're going to kind of introduce and then reintroduce us to ourselves. Everybody real quick, and shout off your name, all that. Let's make sure we got who we got in the room tonight. Who's in the building?
Yeah, you know, tonight, you know, we got some new things to pretty much introduce to everyone.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is G Consciousness. Peace and blessings to the family out there. Yeah, know me from G Consciousness Radio. If you don't know, go over there and go subscribe to G Consciousness Radio, and also my YouTube live page. You know, just introducing ourselves tonight. You know, there's more brothers to come just as well. It's a great privilege to work with these brothers and sisters that's on this path.
So now, people, you've seen it with your own eyes and heard it with your own ears. It's quite clear who's running this show. I mean, Ray Charles is blind and dead, and he can see Vocab is the boss. So, before anybody says, oh man, you know, it just looked that way, and you know, what's the big deal? And hey, we supposed to be servants of the Most High. Why so many lies? Why so many lies? Anything I say, I stand on it, because I have nothing to, you know, just stick to the truth, man. Y'all could have said this through the get-go. You know the Most High is going to reveal things to his people. Come on now. So, y'all see who running the show. He's literally giving them their objectives, their missions. Go at their Israelites. These Negroes, he didn't say it in that term, that's me inserting that. But this is how it's going to look. Go at them out here falsely claiming that they're Hebrew Israelites. And then they let you know the big issue they got with all Israelites. It has nothing to do with whether you're a so-called quote-unquote militant Hebrew. And let me just say something. I've been watching these cats for the last couple of days on my spare time, right? Getting little giggles. They are so unoriginal, though they claim Hebrew Israelites not original. That's what the kid said in this video. That they actually been biting my words, y'all. It is no secret. You can go by, see me in person, go by, listen to blog talk shows I've been on, Debate Talk for You. I think even on G-Con show, on Global Media, and a bunch of other shows I've been on. You can go back and check 4 to 5 years ago. I've been saying the term moderate brews or moderate Israelites. And I put it up in 3 sections. Moderate Israelites, cultural Israelites, and militant Israelites. They caught wind of it. I guess they just heard me say it the other day. And now they're doing whole lectures on moderate Israelites. So they're trying to focus there because they're trying to find something. When they've told you their whole problem, their whole malfunction that they have with us is the fact that we all are claiming that the Bible is our history. It's about us, to us, and for us. And like I say, the world can get it. But it doesn't remove the fact that it is about the Israelite nation, about us, right? So they told you, they beef is our black butts keep running around here saying we are God's chosen people. Y'all heard it, for y'all see it with your own eyes. This is not Mikha'el making it up. I'm not twisting anybody's word. When y'all get a chance, go check out all of the clips and those shows in their entirety. I'm not going to do you like the little brother did me, to took out a snippet and then said false stuff throughout the whole video. Because see, when you tell the truth, man, it holds its own. So just to top it off, in case you still want to say, oh man, no, you know, I just can't believe this. It's true. Wait till you hear it from the horse's mouth himself. Grab your seats. Hold on to them tight. Because he about to let the cat out the bag, baby. G-Con and y'all should have really thought this out a lot better. You messing with a vet.
Good morning, everybody. You're probably wondering why in the world I'm, looking like who did it and why, and making making this video at nearly 7:45 in the morning before work. Well, I'll tell you why. Unfortunately, some really weird group called SOT, Neo Saints of Thunder, has decided, to make all these really nasty videos basically about two people on our squad, which is Vocab Malone, who is our head.
Our squad, which is Vocab Malone, who is our head. Our squad, which is Vocab Malone, who is our head.
And here's the conclusion, boys and girls. You've all heard it yourself. It was never a paranoia on my part and others who thought like me, who could see through the BS. As you heard So Real said, what G-Con and the rest of them were trying to hide. Vocab is their head. Jay, all of them. Y'all been playing these games, trying to act so innocent, making it look like the Israelites are just the tyrants. But y'all really the sneaky tyrants all this long. I'm disappointed at you, G-Con. I'm really disappointed at you. You're too smart for this. And I didn't even get personal with it. You know, it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it like this. Y'all want to act like it was a doctrine thing when we knew it wasn't. It was an agenda the whole time. Vocab is the head, y'all. So when you go back and hear all those videos with G-Con and them and the other members saying, they have this conspiracy, no, he's equal, or we went and recruited him, man, and we went and got him, and all this type of stuff. No. However he came in, we know who on the top position. So we know who giving them their objective. So we got three things clear. Their true objective is they can't stand all of us saying we are Hebrew Israelites, the Negroes. The second objective is, well, it's not even the objective. Second fact is Vocab is the leader. And over him probably is James White or whoever. If I was him, I'd stay back too, because you see how sloppy y'all are. And the third and final one is they've been deceiving y'all the whole time under this fake persona that they're here to debunk any doctrine that goes against Christ. We see which Christ they're serving, the deceiver. And I beg that you brothers repent. Even you, Vocab. It's repentance. I'm one of them Israelites that believe it's repentance for the other nations. Repent before Christ come back, because he ain't gonna play with you. He got a real angry streak that he about to unleash. So y'all heard it, and y'all heard it. He the head, they his soldiers. He gave them their objectives. They playing the game with y'all. They winning a few little lost souls because they giving them that tender, you know, they itching their ears. They itching their ears. And I just like to say, even when I went on shows, like if somebody try, you know, if one of them try to pull, oh well, you used to be on Basim's show, and we can say that about you. Basim is Ishmael, everybody. Yes, he's not an Israelite. But guess what? Every Israelite that went on Basim's show can vouch for him, at least this far. He's never tried to dictate his show. He let the priests come on there and do the priesthood. And that's what vocab should be doing. But instead, vocab has usurped the authority of the priest, just like the Roman Catholics did. He's usurped that authority, just like the fake Jewish people did. And he got the real priests, although blind priests, spiritually dead priests, he got the real priests, the natural priests, under his orders and directing them to attack the other natural priests who are actually out here trying to tell the other sleeping dead priests to wake up. Many they people. Y'all see the sinisterism in this? So y'all really kicking against that rock. Y'all kicking against Christ. Y'all kicking against the Father by kicking against the nation of Israel, which is the apple of his eye. The apple of the Father's eye at that. So y'all brothers need to repent. We gonna leave this little game alone. I got bigger things to move on to. And man, y'all got to get it together, man. Get it together. Because right now, y'all credibility is just horrible. Really horrible. And so for everybody listening, man, I thank y'all for checking out this, your friendly Hebrew in the hood, Mikha'el ben Israel. You know, check out that lecture me and Israel Doctrine did July 30th in Chicago at the Hard Rock Hotel. It's under cyber stalking the Israelite male. That was a good subject, very interesting subject. I didn't know Israel Doctrine was going to bring that out like that. You know, we kind of kept our thing a secret till we got together and did it. And mine, of course, is unapologetically Israel. And I dropped some nasty facts in there too that they said they're gonna try to debunk, which I know is not gonna happen because I didn't even use 10% of the information that I had. I got big stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff that they can't even deal with because it's not mainstream like all that little Google Wikipedia scholarly shit that they have. So people, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night, and please keep your high beams on, man. Keep your high beams on and keep your grass cut low so you can see the snakes when they coming. And in this case, if they wondering why you keep messing with vocab, well, you cut the head off the snake and the body will fall. That's a fact. Hebrews in his hood. Shalom, shalom.
As y'all know, I've dealt with Mikha'el ben Israel for the longest. We definitely have different views on how we view the scriptures. But I want to let y'all know something so y'all can get this right now. Matter of fact, let's grab a scripture. Let's grab a scripture. Because it's really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if these brothers, it seems to me it's like, you know, these brothers just want some clout, you know what I'm saying, and or some recognition. And you know, when it comes to concerning the flesh, oh, I'm an Israelite, or this and that, or whatever the case may be. And that's what it seems like. You know, truth has no colors. Truth has no faces. Truth is truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not it comes from white, black, man, whatever other color there is out there, truth is truth. That's just bottom line. It has no color, no faces. It's just like that. If you spirit, those that walk by the Spirit are the sons of God. So let's look at something real quick. And I know you guys seen that. So what do you brothers get from that? Start with Kevin G. What do you get from that, bro?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I got disconnected towards the end of the video, but I saw the whole thing. Now, first off, I want to say this. I got great respect for Mikha'el Ben Israel. Like me and Mikha'el, we've been through a lot when it comes to battling people of the Kemet persuasion. We debated a lot of people. We backed up a lot of people. We did a lot of shows together when it comes to Basim, global media, and all that. So I got a lot of respect for the brother. And likewise, I think that you could tell the dude has a good heart because of the shout out that he gave you. He actually acknowledged that you are a good brother and that you do have a good heart and this, that, and the other. And I acknowledge the same from him. I never got from Israel that he was a racist person. Now, G, you may have your own take, but I never got that. As he was real cool with Basim, who's not even black, who's cool with a lot of people. And he also believed that as an Israelite, he believed that people of all walks and colors can join the fold of Israel. So, like I said, I have great respect for that brother. And especially all the personal battles that he's been through and everything going up. And then, you know, I just do. But here's the thing that I think that's going on. Mikha'el Ben Israel is basically, I guess at this point, he's tired of people who you may call quote unquote Christian apologists, or I guess Christian apologist is his word for that side of the argument of people who they look at Israelites. And this is one thing, a term that I've always used. You have some people who use a shotgun towards Israelites rather than a sniper rifle. And what I mean by that, if anybody shoots guns, a shotgun spreads. You know what I mean? You could point it at one person in the middle, but it's going to hit the other two on the side. And then you have those who have a sniper rifle, in which they specifically pick the doctrine, the saying, the type of Israelite, and they shoot towards him. So I think what I got from that is that what Mikha'el is saying is that he understands those who have a problem with those who come out of One West or have an issue. But don't go using a shotgun in a room full of Israelites thinking that they all believe the same thing or this is what it is. And then have this thing against the culture of Hebrew Israelites that kind of messes things up for everybody else, because he's right. A lot of Israelite groups are good. They do try to do things for the betterment of black people. You know, I think what he's doing is he's just categorizing a group of people that he's seeing. And I think that a conversation probably needs to be had with the brother that kind of clarify these things, because he's a smart dude. He knows what apologist means. Like, he knows what it means in defense of Christianity, or in defense of the Bible, I should say. And that the second part of apology actually means to convey that correctness or that proof to the world. So Mikha'el Ben Israel himself is an apologist because, one, he believes in the Bible and defends it, and he communicates that to the world. So knowing the brother, I don't think he has any ill intentions towards Christian apologists. I think that, like some people on this side will do,
Shalom, shalom.